name is JD, and I'm here at DeVry College of New York in Midtown Manhattan with Juan and Andy, and we're in an electronics class, and they've created this cool electronics project. It's called a time logging machine. So, Juan, why don't you start to tell us what this machine is about?
Well, basically, this is an employee logging system where each person has their own tag number, and they can clock in, and the system holds the time at which they clocked in, and there's a manager's ID also, which allows that ID to see everyone's working hours.
Okay, so it's a way to clock work time,
Yeah,
how
work
long
time.
you work, and it also tracks when you came in, when you left. It's all automatic, right?
Yes.
So you don't need video cameras to track things, but just this tag-like thing, you can track it. So what does every employee have to have with them? Like an ID card or something?
Every employee would have their unique RFID
RFID.
tag.
Okay, so this is an RFID tag. Okay.
Yes.
And so each employee will have to have his own unique one, right?
Yes.
Two people cannot have the same.
Same one, yeah.
And how do they actually clock in and clock out? What do they have to do with this
All
card?
they do is this person would have it set up, and all they have to do is pretty much scan it in the system.
Oh.
And it shows up
And
on
then it shows up on the screen that it's been scanned, and it also shows up on the computer.
the screen, yes.
So what are these numbers here? I see 1641I.
Well, the first line will represent the time that you logged in or signed in. The next line will show the employee number, and the next line will show stating in or out.
Now, when you say time, 164, what is like 164?
Right now it's time in seconds.
Okay, so everything is in seconds. Okay,
Yes.
you've done it in seconds, but you can always convert that to hours and minutes later.
Yes.
So now employee 1 is logged in. So now say this is employee 4.
Yes.
So if he touches this thing, and it shows I over there, and it also shows over there so at time 199,
Yeah.
employee 4 logged in. Okay, and then I could have another employee log in.
Yes.
Okay, so if I have another employee logging in, so it's did it go through? Yeah.
Yes.
So okay, so at time 211, employee. So there's a constant timer running in the background.
Yes.
How is all this? This system looks pretty intelligent. So is there a program or something running in this controller?
Yes, there's a program running written in CodeWare using C language.
Okay, so you have a program,
Yes.
and you write it on a computer,
Yes.
and then you download it into this board, right? And this board has a controller in it where the program is. What is this blue thing here, and why is it sticking out like that?
Well, that is the RFID scanner.
Okay, so that's what scans these cards.
Yes.
And then it sends it to the controller,
Yes.
and the controller figures out which tag was scanned
yeah.
and the time and things like that. So let's try logging out. So now say employee 3 has finished working, or employee 4 has finished working and he wants to log out. He just touches the card there, and it shows that he's out, and it shows the time 260. And what's the 61 over here?
That's the total time that employee 4 has worked so far.
So now if employee 4 goes back in, okay, and works for a few more seconds,
Yeah.
and then goes back out, will that add up to the number of seconds he's worked?
Yes, it does.
Yes,
Okay. Oh, so now it's gone to 60, so he worked 5 seconds more.
Yeah.
Okay. So every time he clocks in, clocks out, it will keep track
Yes.
of how long he worked and what he did. So now, a long time ago, employee 1 logged in. So
Which
let's
is
try
this
logging
part.
out employee 1, and let's see how long he worked. So 131 seconds. So that's how long we've been talking. We've been talking for almost 2 minutes. Okay, great. So now you said the employer or the manager has got a unique tag. Well, what tag is that, and what does that do?
This is tag number 5,
Okay.
and when he scans in,
Oh, it
it
gives
will show
the times for all the employees. So right now, employee 2 is logged in but hasn't logged out, right? So that's why it shows 0.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
See?
once he logs out, it'll actually calculate and show. So now he logs out. Now if you use the employee tag, it'll show 2 or for 114 seconds. Wow, great. So this will automate a lot of things in an office, right, or in a school.
Yes.
Instead of a professor taking attendance, students can just log in and log out using an RFID code, because all of us in school generally come to get IDs anyway.
Yes.
So we could just make them RFIDs
Exactly.
and then have this login process. What about the future of this project? What could be done to make it better or more complex?
Well, the future would be to add a TMF converter, which is basically takes a phone signal to allow remote log-in and log-outs.
Oh, so a user could just call in or maybe text
Yeah.
directly into the system
Yes.
and log in, log out. Especially if they're a civil engineer and they're working at a remote location.
Exactly.
and it also let's say they forget their tags.
I forget their
can
tags, they
just
can use
use
a cell phone. So just like the tag information is stored on the microcontroller, their cell phone information could be stored.
Yes.
So if the signal is coming from that cell phone, then they know that it's that person. So I think this is a great idea, and I hope you guys should definitely try to patent this and pitch it to schools and colleges and offices all over the world, and then you might be rich very soon.
Yeah.
So once again, thanks everyone for listening. This is Juan and Andy at DeVry College of New York in Manhattan, and what they just showed us is a really cool project called an employee login project. Thanks once again.